JFCS Click. I'm Galia Godel, and I'm the Program Manager of the LGBTQ Initiative. I'm here today to talk about how to make your own sensory kit. A sensory kit is like a little emergency kit that you can keep in your house for when you're feeling anxious or depressed or overstimulated, and you need to come back to the moment that you are in. It might be that you're overwhelmed at work, or you're watching the news a little too much, or things at home are stressful, and you catch yourself spiraling. You catch yourself thinking about what's tough and what's hard and what might happen next. And you need to take a second to come back to where you are right now. So your sensory kit can be a shoebox or a paper bag from Trader Joe's or a basket under your bed, full of things that let you interact with your body in tangible ways. I keep mine in here, a little sliding plastic drawer. I keep it on my makeup shelf, and it's full of things that let me feel good. So I'm gonna take you through the items in my sensory kit, and you can come along with me. You can grab similar items, or you can think about what items you want to feel or you want to touch. So the first thing in my sensory kit is just a little bit of scented hand lotion. I got it off Etsy. It smells like, what does this one smell like? Oh, patchouli and lemongrass. And I take a little bit and I just dab it on my hands to moisturize my skin. Sometimes I'll get real fancy and give myself a little hand massage, or maybe I'm just moisturizing my skin. We're washing our hands so much, my skin is really dry. I want to remind my body that I love it and I want to take care of it. So that's one way to ground myself, is just to touch my hands to each other and rub this lotion in. I also have a little bottle of one of my favorite scented oils. It's a bourbon molasses sort of leather situation. And I just take a little bit of it and I might dab it on my wrists and just take a second to take a breath, take a sniff of something that feels really good, that smells wonderful. And remind yourself that you're allowed to have small pleasures. You're allowed to love things. You're allowed to do things that feel nice. It can be a cologne or a scent or an essential oil. You can put it on your wrists or in your hair or on your shirt, just to have a little whiff of something that smells really good and calming. Speaking of calming, one of the other things that I have in here is a rock. It's just a little ordinary gray rock, and it's got a comforting weight to it. If I can't take a moment to myself, if I can't sit down and take 5 or 10 minutes to go through my whole sensory kit, I'll hold this rock in my hand while I'm on a meeting, or while I'm talking to somebody on the phone, or while I'm dealing with some kind of emergency. And the weight of it, again, reminds me that I'm not a million miles away. I'm right here, I'm sitting in my bedroom. I exist, I'm a human being with a corporeal physical form, and sometimes I'll rub my thumb over it. It's really smooth and nice. So maybe find yourself a nice rock. Something else that I like that's tangible, that I can feel with my body, are these little brushes. I've got a hair dye brush that's kind of scratchy, and a makeup brush that's really soft. It feels like a cloud. And you can take these brushes, I can take these brushes and sweep them over my skin on my arms or my legs. I might brush them on my face, especially the makeup brush on my face feels very good. It's like a soft cloud. And you can do it for 10 seconds. You can do it for 10 minutes, just enjoying or focusing on the sensation that you are experiencing on your skin. Another sensation that I like experiencing on my skin is warmth. And you can get warm in a number of ways. You can curl up in a blanket, you can drink some hot tea. What I have here is a little gel heat pack. I snapped it a couple takes ago, that has this little metal tab in it. And when you break the little metal tab, it becomes hot for, about 20 minutes, and it's reusable. You can use it as many times as you want. And I just like to press it between my hands. It feels really good. Or to press it against my face. And again, focus on those small pleasures. How do my muscles feel when I do this? What does the warmth feel like in my fingers? Was I cold? Was I kind of disconnected from my body? Let yourself connect a little bit with this small heat pack. So Something else that I like to do is I like to engage my mind when I'm feeling overwhelmed, but not in a stressful way. I don't want to write another email. I don't want to make a tough phone call. I don't want to do a tough work project or home project. I want to engage my brain in a really simple way. So I have in my sensory kit a little coloring book and a handful of pens, the best kind of pen in my opinion. And this coloring book is pretty great because you can just pick one small sections. I've done each of these sections on different days. You could do any coloring book. I like that this one's small enough to fit in my box. What colors am I going to choose? What colors do I want next to each other? Which of the pictures in the book do I want to color? I get to turn my brain onto something that is pleasant and low stress. No one's wondering when my picture is gonna be done. No one's shaking their finger at me, asking me to hurry up and get them the next picture. It's something that I'm doing just for me. Something else that I might do if I need to engage my brain a little bit more actively is I grab my bean jar. I have a jar full of legumes. I've got, what do I have? I have kidney beans and black-eyed peas and dry corn kernels and lentils, and they're all shaken up and mixed up in this jar. And sometimes I will just dump this jar out on the floor of my bedroom or in the living room if that's where I'm hanging out, and I'll sort them into piles of the different kinds of legumes that I have in here. It's a little bit menial, so I don't get too caught up in the details, but it's something that I have to focus on to make sure that I'm doing it right. I get to engage my hands, I get to engage my brain, and it takes a little bit of time to sort these out from each other. By the time I'm done, I'm usually a lot more calm. Something else that I have in my box is this nice weighted neck pillow, neck heater thing. Sorry. And it's designed for when you have a stiff neck. You microwave it for a couple of minutes and it gets all warm and you put it on your shoulders to heat those muscles. But what's also really nice is the weight on my shoulders. There are studies that show that any kind of weight on your skin, whether it's a neck pillow thing or a hug or a cuddle or putting a bunch of blankets on your lap, or heck, lie down with a dictionary on your chest, it releases endorphins and it releases serotonin. And those are chemicals that your brain wants to calm down, to let you take a deep breath, to chill out a little bit. So I'll often put this rice pack over my shoulders. This might be full of wheat, not rice. I don't know. It smells good. It smells like chamomile. And I take a deep breath. And it calms me down. It feels really nice, and it lets me focus on the sensation, the weight on my shoulders, the experience that I'm having. If you don't have one of these, they're a little bit fancy, not everybody has one in their house, you can grab an old sock from your spare sock basket in your laundry room or next to your washer dryer and fill that sock with rice about 2/3 of the way, cheap rice from the back of your pantry or the grocery store, and tie a knot in the end of that sock. Then flop it over your shoulders. It feels a little bit silly, or rather it looks a little bit silly. It feels silly to have a sock on your shoulders, but it absolutely provides just the right amount of weight to give yourself space to calm down. Drop that cortisol, drop that dopamine, get yourself into a calmer space, a more centered, present space where you know that you are right here, and keep that on your shoulders for as long as you want. Some folks might even have a weighted blanket. I've got mine on my bed. And if I'm feeling really overwhelmed, I just want to cover my body in weight and let it release those endorphins, give me that serotonin. The last thing that I don't always keep in my kit, I actually keep it in my purse, but my purse is next to my kit because I don't take my purse anywhere now, is it's a pack of gum. A pack of gum is one of the simplest things that you can keep in your sensory kit because, especially mint gum, it's a sharp, cool, refreshing flavor that allows you, again, to focus on what your body is doing right now. The chewing sensation will actually help calm a lot of folks. There are studies that show that high school and college students who chew gum feel more relaxed on tests. And so you can take your gum and just pop a piece of gum in your mouth and let that bring you back to where you are right now. So those are all the items in my sensory kit. I want to thank you guys so much for coming along the journey with me, finding out what's in my sensory kit, and I hope you'll make your own. Focus on what you can see, what you can touch, what you can taste. Maybe you want to hear something. Do you keep a small bell in your sensory box? Do you have a playlist on YouTube or Spotify that has calming acoustic music? Find things that let you focus on where and who you are right now, and remind yourself that you can love your body and you can love where you are. Thank you so much. If you make your own sensory kit, feel free to write into JFCS and let us know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck making your sensory kits. Bye.